calibrated to be able to measure the diameter of a tree around the circumference and give you the inches of it. Obviously this tree is really large, so there's going to be a couple of us using this tape to get around the tree. The proper way to use this tape is to do it at what we call diameter at breast height, which is 4.5 feet off the ground. For me, it's right about my sternum, so it's about this level. I just know it because I do it all the time. And so we're going to do that.
So Adam, let me say though that the reason that we want to do that at the diameter at breast height instead of doing, a lot of times people will think, well, why don't you just do the diameter at the base of the tree? But this tree is a really great example of why we are not taking the diameter at the base of the tree, because it really flares out at the bottom. And when we're trying to take measurements of the tree, we don't want that to
blow it out of proportion.
Right, to blow it out of proportion for what the size of the tree actually is.
Yep, good point.
Okay.
So we're just going to go ahead and stick this in here at about this height.
Okay.
Walk around in it. And the important thing is to keep it level and to also keep it from twisting. You don't want it to twist. So we're going to come all the way around, roughly the same level, and no kinks in it. We're going to make sure it's good and tight. Good job, good job. I was wrong. I was off by a little bit. So my guess was 42. It's this tree is 44.4 inches in diameter.
So this diameter tape is a lot smaller. It's a lot cheaper. It's sort of the student model or the pocket model that anybody might want to carry around with them. It's pretty convenient because it has two sides on it and actually crams a lot of information into a really small tape measure. So this one on this side is going to be a regular tape measure, but as you can see closer to the start of it over here, it does show that it is both metric and standard, so it's metric and inches, all right? And that's on this side. The other side is labeled, says diameter, and then it also has two different scales on it. The top edge there shows its diameter by 1/100th of an inch. So that means our diameter, our 1 inch, is from here to here. And you're saying, well, that doesn't look like an inch. It's not. It's an inch. It would represent an inch of diameter. So remember, diameter is the distance across the middle of a circle. So if I were to have a circle of this size, it would be 1 inch in diameter. And then it is, instead of measuring inches by, like we usually talk about with 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch, 1/8 of an inch, this is going to measure it by hundredths. So over, if we were to pull it out a little bit, here would be 1.1 inches, 1.2 inches, and so on. So it will measure down to the hundredths of an inch. But a lot of times in science class, teachers are asking you to measure in metric because that is the standard across the globe. So this tape measure shows diameter in centimeters, and that is on the bottom scale. Okay, so from here would be 0 centimeters, 1, 2 centimeters. Okay, so you can tell that the scale is there for that as well. And then these would be tenths of centimeters as we're looking across. So the biggest thing to take note of when you're using this type of measure is that you are looking at the correct scale and that you are really paying close attention to what you're reading. So we're going to demo how to use this tape measure on a much smaller tree so you can get an idea for how it works. All right, so I'm ready to measure a tree, so I'm gonna just double check. This is the standard regular measurement side. I wanna make sure I'm on the diameter side of the tree. And I'm gonna go ahead and, like Adam said, we're gonna make sure that we're measuring about 4.5 feet off the ground. So we'll go ahead and hold that there. I'm gonna walk around the tree, trying to keep my tape measure nice and level. We'll go all the way around. And now the other thing that we wanna pay attention to is where our overlap is. So the 0 is not here at the end. We're going to look for where that 0 line is there, and we're going to take the measurement. Now, once again, I'm going to double check. The top of the tape measure is inches. The bottom of the tape measure is centimeters. What I'm going for today in science class is centimeters. So I'm checking out these larger numbers here, 49, 50. I'm in between 49 and 50. So as you take a look at that, you should be thinking in your head, what's that answer there? So what are we? If I was going to estimate, we're about 49.5 centimeters.